Hey, Mr. Wiedemer here for Mr. Wiedemer's History, and I'm here with my partner, Darth Tater, to finish up Unit 5, Imperialism. Now, this section, much like Unit 2.4, we divided it into two parts. So large, so much information that it's hard to contain in 15 minutes. So we'll break it off into two sections, with the second part having the unit review. So here we go, Unit 5.4, A New Arena. You guys be able to describe Americans' foray into imperialism. Alright, let's start with the election of 1900. We have William Jennings Bryan as Democratic candidate. There he is. And William Jennings Bryan, as you know, he runs for president a lot, but he never wins. And he's in there in the election 1900, still relevant in 1920s with the Ghost Monkey trial. He gets around in American history. He's in there quite often, so this is a name you'll hear often. Right, William Mckinley, a Republican candidate. There's a Mckinley there. And the main topic was, of course, imperialism. And what we do and do. Should America remain imperialistic after the Spanish-American War? Or should we close up shop and become isolationist once again? And McKinley won this election by supporting imperialism. Here's the election map. As you see, the electoral votes, not even close, 65% to 35%, but popular vote, that was very close here, with 52% McKinley, 46% Bryan. As you see, once again, like I've said before, one thing about this map is very similar to almost every map, political map, there's plenty here, the Democratic South. The Democratic South. After the Civil War, till the Civil Rights, the Democrats are going to own the South. Here's the Democratic South, once again, in election 1900. Alright, McKinley had a change of heart and no longer supported imperialism. And, well, after he announced this, he was shot and killed by anarchists. Now, McKinley, he decided to go up to Buffalo to World's Fair. And this anarchist was a little crazy, who thought McKinley was not looking out for the common man, not working out for the working class citizens. Went to go shake his hand, and when he shook his hand, he shot him, and McKinley died. And then the anarchist was put to death. His body broken down from acid, so it wouldn't become this gravesite for anarchists. And you can see that in the video there for assassination of McKinley. Pretty interesting stuff. After that, McKinley's vice president in his constitution, allows Vice President Teddy Roosevelt, good old TR, to become the youngest president in history. Now I remember Teddy Roosevelt gets his name, makes a name for himself in the Spanish-American War, Battle of San Juan Hill, and I think that's the battle, and his Rough Riders, and so he makes a name for himself there. He's a war hero, Spanish-American War. Now he becomes president of the United States, the youngest in history. And there's a good old TR there, Teddy Roosevelt. Now, Teddy Roosevelt, he's known as the trust buster, the progressive president, a guy who carries around a big stick. Now, we'll get next Unit 6 about progressivism and see how he deals with domestic issues and everything, but he gets a lot done when he's president. He's a reformer, progressive, an imperialist. He gets stuff done. So, more about him next unit as well. Alright, so his big saying is speak softly and carry a big stick. Speak softly. When necessary, use force. Alright, diplomacy goes a long way. But if it doesn't work, we're going to have a big stick. We're going to, we're going to take you out. Kind of like Darth Tater's lightsaber here. You can see this as it is, Roosevelt's big stick. Wow! Right, so the big stick was most evident in the Caribbean. Roosevelt's main goal when he became president was to build a canal through Panama. Now, prior to this date, 1903, if you wanted to go from New York to San Francisco in a ship, you had to go around the southern tip of South America, and that took forever. Okay, and so how do you remedy that? Let's make a canal through the shortest part of America, in Panama, and you can cut the time in half. Now the problem with this is Colombia owned Panama territory, and Colombia did not want the United States to make a canal here. They didn't want that. They didn't want to ease the burden that the United States had to, have by going around South America. So the United States is going to help Panama rebel against Colombia. So when Colombia sends ships to Panama, what's the United States going to do? They're going to blockade these ships, basically interfering here because they have ulterior motives going on. Because they know that if they help Panama out, Panama will help them out. A little tit for tat kind of thing here. So the United States stops Colombian ships entering Panama. Panama becomes independent from Colombia, and with that, Panama grants the United States the right to build a canal in their country. So November 6, 1903, U.S. officially recognizes Republic of Panama as a country. 2 weeks later, signed a treaty to have a canal there. And so his actions were condemned as unjustifiable aggression, that he's sticking America's nose where it doesn't belong. And so a lot of countries, a lot of people in Latin America began to not like the United States. They really start not like us because we're sticking our nose where it doesn't belong. And once again, we tell Europe not to stick their nose where it doesn't belong, and yet we do the same thing. And so another kind of contradictory statement, kind of two-faced stuff going on here, where we condemn Europe for doing something, and then we go and do the same thing. Except for the fact that it's in our yard, so we have a right to do it. Right? So the builders of the Panama Canal faced many hardships. There's hot, mosquitoes carrying malaria. Alright, it was the big one. And so there's many hardships, mudslides, a lot of rain and treacherous forest, and plus, it's not like flat, so the canal had to have some way to get from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. So you're going to build a series of locks where it goes, here's a ship, and the water goes down, in a ship, up, down, and so it goes like that based on elevation. And so it takes a while for a ship to go through, but it's a heck of a lot faster than going around South America. Alright, there's the map. There's the shortest distance from the Atlantic to Pacific Ocean in America. Okay, bar none. So that's why they chose this area to have a canal. So now they can just go from New York, and around here, and voila, they're already in the Pacific Ocean on the way to California. Very, very quickly. It takes, a lot of time off. As you see, things go right around here. Alright, many hardships, plus a different elevation, like I said, have the locks. It goes up and down, so based on elevation, through the mountains, you can make it through. So, pretty ingenious. Alright, first up in Roosevelt's big stick, Venezuela. Now, Roosevelt, like Cleveland, defended Venezuela from European aggressions because, well, anytime Europe messes with America, whether it's South America, Caribbean, then they violate the Monroe Doctrine, and we're not going to stand for that. So, here we go, Venezuela is going to refuse to pay debt to Great Britain and Germany, so Great Britain and Germany blockades Venezuela. Well, that's Great Britain and Germany violating the Monroe Doctrine because they're coming into the Western Hemisphere and meddling in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere. We don't like that. So the U.S. is like, whoa, it's a violation of the Monroe Doctrine, yo. And so they demanded arbitration from both sides, and both sides went on their way, except for Germany kind of took a long time to agree to this. And so America began to distrust Germany. And like, do we trust these people? This is kind of the start of the whole mistrust that leads into World War I, World War II. When you fight Germany, kind of the distrust starts here. So you see the seeds of the world wars are beginning here with American imperialism, with Germany and the distrust with them. Alright, so next up, the Roosevelt Corollary. Alright, so in 1903, Argentine Foreign Minister Luis Drago, he basically says, you cannot force a Latin American country to pay their debt if they don't have the money. And so, because what these European countries were doing, they're coming over there, and basically forcing these Latin American countries to pay off their debt. But they couldn't because they didn't have the money. So Drago's like, hey, let's stop this. Let's stop this. Let's make this a violation of international law. If we don't have the money, Europe can't come over and get in our face and say, hey, pay up. Okay, Europe can't be a bully and says pay up. So Roosevelt's like, well, I like this because that's kind of what the Monroe Doctrine's all about here. So he makes this thing called the Roosevelt Corollary. Basically, it gives Monroe Doctrine teeth. Alright, if you violate the Monroe Doctrine, you pay for it. So it really is an addition to the Monroe Doctrine. The Roosevelt Corollary is an addition to the Monroe Doctrine. Say, whenever an American Republic was guilty of wrongdoing, U.S. is going to intervene, and if a European country tries to take back free territories or interferes in any way in Latin America, in the Western Hemisphere, the U.S. would stop them. The U.S. would use force, do whatever it takes to stop them. Okay, like I said, the Roosevelt Corollary gives Monroe Doctrine teeth. It gives it teeth. Basically, Monroe Doctrine is like, stay away from us, all in words. But the Roosevelt Corollary is basically like, alright, you want some of us? Come on, we'll take you out. Quit being a bully. Alright, so they're going to fight him now, if it comes to that. So the Roosevelt Corollary gives Monroe Doctrine teeth. Alright, then comes the Dominican Republic. And once again, the United States sticks their nose where it doesn't belong. So, just like in Panama, where it helped Panama rebel against Colombia, Roosevelt Corollaries first applied here in the Dominican Republic. Alright, basically, Great Britain was owed a lot of money by the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic couldn't pay for it. This is kind of like what Drago was talking about. Europe, don't come over here and mess with us. We can't pay it. We're broke. Hold up. And so, what the United States is going to do, as a goodwill gesture, we're going to actually collect the money and pay Britain ourselves to help the Dominican Republic out. But what does the Dominican Republic do in return? They don't go, oh, thank you, America, for helping us out. No, they're like, dude, what are you doing? Stay out of our business. And so the Dominican Republic did not like this whatsoever. And then Taft, the next president, he's going to come along and have his dollar diplomacy. Basically, if American interest is in danger, the United States is going to come in and save it. Alright, so look for business opportunities abroad, Latin America and Asia. If the U.S. had business opportunities, they had the right to intervene. And this happened in Haiti and Nicaragua. This happens today, like in Iraq. Our business opportunities, oil opportunities right there in Iraq gets violated. We must go over there. And so dollar diplomacy really still happens today in the United States. Wherever our business is in trouble, the United States will come and save the day. Alright, a little review of this. McKinley assassinated shortly after re-election in 1900 by an anarchist. Teddy Roosevelt then becomes the youngest president in history, age of 42. Now Roosevelt is very much imperialistic, so his main goal was to make a canal through Panama. And he achieved this goal by helping Panama win a revolution over Colombia by blockading Colombia. Now the Roosevelt Corollary, basically an extension of Monroe Doctrine, gives Monroe Doctrine teeth. Alright, gives the United States the right to use force if Monroe Doctrine is violated. And then Taft's dollar diplomacy. The U.S. must protect businesses' interests around the world. Alright, until next time, I'm Mr. Wiedemer. This is Darth Tater, and this is Unit 5. Study History.